Greetings and welcome to the Mount Rushmore podcast. It's summer, time for summer fun. You got your tanning lotion on. You've got a Danielle Steele novel. You got your flippy flops and your sunglasses. And this is the Mount Rushmore of A Day at the Beach. Richard, did you think of this?
I did think of this one, and I thought of it because usually, although we haven't gone, and it's been 3 years now, we spend our 4th of July in Lake Tahoe and spend several days at the beach there on the lake. And that's always one of my most enjoyable things out of that vacation to do. So I just started thinking about all the good times and all the strange times and all of the sometimes headaches that you encounter at the beach, just the full menagerie of everything that could happen when you're going to the beach.
Cool. All right. Let's discuss it up. So, Michael Winfield, you start.
Well, I fell in love with just the title of this topic, and I approached very specifically from A Day at the Beach.
Oh.
For me, for this topic, it wasn't about a vacation that you're there for 4 or 5 days where you can go down to the beach for a little bit and come back, where you're maybe you went to Hawaii and you could just lounge about on the beach and the beautiful warm waters and everything, and you're there, you can a couple days, or go down to Florida. My wife, Emily, used to spend her childhood, with her father and just traveling down from Indiana to Florida and just flouncing in the surf in the warm waters, the tropical, dolphins are swimming.
I did think you were going to say that she spent her time in the beaches of Indiana.
All those beaches of Indiana. But no, I have a perspective of like being some kid from the valley who a day at the beach is a one-time thing that you do every once in a while because it takes forever to get there. So all of my stuff, I'm couching it all within this realm of we're going there for one day during the summer.
Awesome.
Mine kind of falls into that too. There's a bit of a timeline involved.
Okay.
So
Cool.
So my first choice is look at all this stuff that I have to bring from the parking lot down to wherever we are set up on the beach, just lugging this wagon filled with things that, God, it's great packed up in the parking lot, and then it goes right into the sand. And how the fuck am I pulling 45 pounds of this stuff through the
why
sand?
am I pulling 45 pounds?
Hot sand.
Hot sand. You think you go about it like, okay, I'm going to just wear my flip-flops, and then I'm going to pull all this stuff through. And then you're like, you know what? Just take my flip-flops off. Maybe it's easier. Nope, it's really hot on this sand. And you're like, your toes are doing that gripping thing as you're trying to pull your way through, and invariably you have to make 2 to 3 trips back because you forgot one of the folding chairs, you forgot something else, and that's the exact moment when your kid has to use the bathroom.
Right.
And you're just like, it takes so much effort to go there for one particular mid-morning, late morning to afternoon, especially being here in like LA. The beaches, getting over to like Santa Monica or wherever along the coast, it's not like a 10-minute, 15-minute drive. It is a trek. So everything is like planned early, and then by noon, 1 o'clock, you're just so wiped out. But the traveling, the pulling, all the things that you could possibly need to kind of camp for a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're essentially packing for a camping trip.
Yes.
Except it's on the beach and you're only going to be there for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
But it's all the same stuff. Actually, for all intents and purposes, our first choice is the same.
Okay.
Because mine was more broad. It was just getting to the beach is a nightmare.
Yeah.
I also included the concept of parking, which at the beach can go from negligible to non-existent. Those are your 2 options usually for parking at the beach. And that is probably the one thing that whenever my wife or the kids suggest going to the beach for a beach day, that's my first thought. Does this beach have parking that's within a mile of the actual beach? Because I'm going to have to carry all this crap.
Yeah.
I'm the Sherpa for the family.
Yeah.
He's our lovable oaf.
I am, to call back last week's episode, I am the lovable oaf. And am I gonna be at least, can I see the ocean from where we're parking? If I can, okay, we can make this work. If I can't, what are we doing here?
Yeah. That's, to me, the sand, too. Either the distance is one thing, but as Michael, as you so eloquently decided, the sand is that thing that's part of the reason you're going there.
Yeah, it's great.
But I think George Lucas wrote some statements about sand.
That's true.
Yeah,
Very
so eloquently.
eloquent words.
Its
Yeah.
destructive properties and things like that. But yeah, I as I recall, like once you've gone from car to that 10 by 10 plot, all the cheese cubes you were going to eat are just filled with sand. Like everything, the hummus has sand in it. The beach towels, sand. Your crotch, sand. It's just, yeah, it's already just, you are sandpaper.
You are.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, your second, Richard.
All right, my second choice. So you've got to the beach finally. You've staked out your little plot of land like your Tom Cruise in Far and Away. You've got your your little claim on your real estate. You know what time it is? It's nap time.
Oh, okay.
I love me a beach nap.
Oh, nice.
That is one of the most relaxing naps you can take, especially since we wound up getting one of those. One of the things that I have to lug around, or myself or Sarah or whoever is lugging it, one of those like pup tent type things. The sun sort of.
Is it a clamshell kind of?
Yeah,
Okay,
one of those sort of things. It has like a actual bottom to it, so it's like a clamshell, and 2 or 3 people can kind of hide out in there from the sun. And it's kind of, and then I think about this. I'm like, I'm going out to the beach, and then I'm doing everything I can to avoid the sun.
Yeah.
And be in basic, for all intents and purposes, be indoors.
Yeah.
Why is this relaxing exactly? But it is. It's this, you got the sound of the ocean, you got the smells. Everything about it just makes me go, okay, kids, go run and make a sand castle or go run around in the water. Just don't drown. Daddy's going to be zonked out over here for about a half hour.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing that I do.
The shark alert is medium, so I think I'm just going to take a nap.
I think you're fine. Let's face it. If there's a shark out there, what can I do?
Yeah.
I'm not running out there into the shark. You guys are on your own. Yeah. You guys can swim. You're fine.
And we've seen it happen at Amity. It's just going to mess with tourism. And the people from out of town aren't going to show.
So taking a nap on the beach. Not in a homeless person kind of way. But
are you a person who can nap on a plane or?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I'm a big napper.
I envy you.
I can nap pretty much anywhere. Driving. It's good nap time.
Wow.
I haven't had the pleasure of having a nap at the beach.
Yeah.
Our son is 4, just turned 4. So we weren't big beach people to begin with. So like the adventures of going to the beach are all centered around him. And I can't imagine it, going there and being like, all right, you watch him. I'm going to.
Yeah.
But you have older kids, so they have like.
Yeah,
autonomy.
They have autonomy. Thank you.
Yeah, there is some point where the kids, you don't have to really sit there and like hover.
And they don't want to be around you anyway.
They don't want to be around you. They're not going to eat sand. It's a pretty good. Like space at that point.
The Speedo was a good choice because I imagine that's at the core of all those things. It's like Richard, you go in the little shell, clamshell.
Just stay there. It's a good way to get your wife to not want you to have to do anything.
Do you want to run on the beach with me, sweetie? No.
No. You're fine.
Okay. Winfield, what's your second one?
Number 2, making a sandcastle. I don't think that there's anything more delightful at any age other than making a sandcastle.
Oh, cool.
All of its great, all the greatness about it and the perils, and like there are times when you're making a sandcastle and in your head it's like that one episode of The Simpsons where Homer is trying to build a barbecue, and then he's holding up this picture and he's like, that's what a barbecue should look like, and then it drops and it's his barbecue and it's all like jangled together in the mortar, and the bricks are all left and right. It's like, why doesn't mine look like that? I think we all go into like trying to build a sandcastle and have I'm going to have these amazing seashell windows and doors are going to go around. This moat is just going to be perfect. And the sand is going to it's going to mold, and it's going to tower over everyone else's sandcastle here at the beach. And they're going to be jealous. Mm-hmm. And then like 25 minutes into it, it's like lumpy and things have fallen down. The waves have come up like farther than you imagined it. And it's not quite, the base is like not quite wet enough. And everything on top of it's starting to dry out and crack and fall apart. Mm-hmm. And your seaweed flag is just like, all the other people on the beach are like, what is this thing? What is this? But just the excitement of building this thing.
Yes.
You have this potential, and it's gonna be so grand. And who's gonna be the king that lives here? And then you're just like, what is this?
I have the same aspirational plan for pumpkin carving that I do for sandcastles.
Yes,
Like,
Sure.
this is going to be amazing.
I'm going to blow everybody away with this
It's a
thing.
piece of shit.
You're like, it's a circle and a circle and a triangle. I know why we do these. It's the easiest one to do.
I do think that sandcastles thing is like, even when I just like start to approach the idea, I think of that KTLA like human interest story. Like Teresa Stevens, and I'm here at the beach where today the sandcastle World Championships are happening.
Sure.
You just think
Where do
about
they
it,
get that
amazing.
sand? They're bringing in their own sand. That's what they don't tell you.
Importing
Yeah. There's
from
a
Hobby Lobby.
on the other side. They have this truck that's just like perfectly each piece of sand is like
Filed
hand
down,
carved,
yeah.
and they're just like
Gourmet
just
sand.
bespoke sand.
Bespoke sand. Okay, all right. So we are at our halftime, and gonna ask y'all to let us be your beach read or listen, poolside, beachside, doing summer stuff. We would love to be the thing that keeps you entertained, and you can fall asleep to us. You can nap to the Mount Rushmore podcast. Many do. So yeah, and you can do that by downloading past episodes. And then we really always strive to create compelling programming that other people feel engaged by and interested in. So if you have a topic that you would love us to discuss, please send it our way via our Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook handles. You can do that, and we love it. So we appreciate it. So now, I think a underscore of waves cresting and hitting the shore would have been good for that.
Yeah, too bad we
thing.
don't have rights for that.
Yeah, shit.
we don't
We have rights to ocean.
rights to the ocean.
To nature.
Send somebody down to the ocean just to record it real quick.
Yeah. Maybe we're gonna realize we're on a private beach. Like, shit, we can't use this private beach noise. Okay, so it's Richard's third.
All right.
Third.
So my third choice is, so you have taken your nap, you've woken up, the kids survived the shark attack. That's lunchtime. Now, as you pointed out, there's a good chance you got 80 million pounds of sand in your sandwich. That's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
The only thing that's not somehow even the chips that haven't been opened yet are going to have sand in them. But you're eating. You've got your bag of Cheetos. Then here come the birds.
Oh.
It's just like an Alfred Hitchcock film. And I can say this from personal experience. They will take your food straight from your hand. One time we were at the beach, and Vivian must have been 7 or 8. I think at the time Simon was like 3. And yeah, we were sitting there eating our we'd actually they had like a truck that sold hamburgers and hot dogs and whatever. And we'd got got her a hamburger, got her a bag of Cheetos. And suddenly the birds started coming, and one bird just grabbed the bag.
The whole bag?
Just grabbed the whole bag.
Oh, wow.
And took off with it.
Don't bogart that bag. I said one.
That bag was gone. And off just trailing a trail of Cheetos as it flies off into the sky. I don't know where it wound up. But the seabirds by the ocean have no fear of humans.
Yeah.
At all. They're like birds at the golf course. They've just seen people so many times.
Those are those birds that also like fly out to like the middle of like the ocean when there's like a dead animal at the surface and there's like sharks biting around at things, and they're like, I gotta get in there too. What do the humans have against this? Like, there's a shark here. I don't give a shit. I gotta get me some whale, I guess. Whatever. Cheetos.
Yeah. Well, it's a change of pace for the bird. You're used to eating carrion. Yeah. I guess a bag of Cheetos is kind of like a snack, like it would be for us.
I feel like every once in a while I'll see a seagull inland, like in the valley or something like
that. What happened?
What the fuck? You got lost, idiot.
The dumbest seagull. Lovable oaf seagull.
Yeah. That is something that I have had happen to me in person, and it's never fucking funny. But if you see an animated GIF or a video on YouTube of somebody losing their ice cream cone to a seagull or their whatever.
Hilarious.
Hilarious. You're a moron. You lost your food to a smarter creature than you, which was a bird.
And there's a non-zero chance you're going to get pooped on.
Yeah.
Non-zero
Yeah.
chance. I mean, it's never happened to me at the beach,
Yeah.
but could. That would be funny.
I just love these creatures. It's like I always think creatures in nature have a better sense of their dietary requirements, but like Cheetos ain't good for anything on the planet. There's nobody benefits from Cheetos. Okay. So Michael Winfield, your third.
My third choice is longing for the kind of romantic nature of like a day at the beach at the turn of the century.
Oh.
Like thinking about what it must have been like to come out to like these kind of pre-put up like little changing tents, and to come out and change into your long swimwear,
Your
that
woolen swim costume.
that goes from
Right.
that's like a kind of a old wrestler's tank top and goes
Yeah.
down to your knees, and the
Yeah.
ladies were wearing
You look
something.
like a strong man.
Yeah, the ladies were wearing something somehow even more restrictive and covering up than they were going to the beach.
Yeah.
And just the idea that this was just such an outing, and it seems from old pictures that people were just taken care of. You went to the beach and you were attended to,
Yeah.
and you went, maybe this is the rich people that actually had photographs taken of them, and that's why you see it. You don't see the urchins under the pier that are trying to stab you with rusty fish hooks and whatever the hell is going on the other side of the camera. They don't take the pictures of like the Bowery Board kids or whoever that were there. They're just trying to cut you with a tin can, like whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I imagine just these moments like in the movie like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, where like Caractacus Potts and the two children are going out with Truly Scrumptious just to a beach picnic, and they're flouncing in the sea. They're the only ones out there. They're changing in their like, he's posing as a strongman, as you said, and just the idea of like whatever the beach was as this novel thing versus this thing is that you're trudging out to the beach and you're carrying everything with you, and you're like
You got your
the
big
Sherpa
Johnson
mentality.
Your
where
big Johnson tank top on.
there was like there was a regalness to
Yeah.
it. You went to the beach.
Formality.
Yeah.
Even in the,
yes.
yeah.
There was some aspect there that I find endearing, even though it was probably just as tiresome to do.
Mhm.
I'm sure that you were still loading up, but I don't know. People didn't have like,
You didn't have boom boxes that you were going to bring with you or something like that.
yeah, maybe there would be, I don't know. Was there a band that would play at the beach?
A band show.
Was there just like
The
someone with
beach calliope.
yeah. Clam show.
Well, if anything untoward happened, the Keystone Cops were right there
That's
to
true.
effectively
But I don't.
dispense.
I wonder did that fade away by the time everybody started having a car? Like, was going to the beach something you just did with a small amount of things? You took a trolley or whatever down to the beach side, and then people started having cars, and then they could just bring everything that they needed and all that. I wonder what where that transition is. Was it the 50s with rock and roll and girls in bikinis and surfing and all these other things that start to beach culture becomes a lot different than it was in the 1890s. I don't know. There's I haven't.
It also seems there's an East Coast West Coast thing, because some of what you're describing feels like Coney Island. Or
It-
it feels like
yes.
Jones Beach or something.
Maybe there's
But
Well, there's the beaches where you actually go into the water. Then
Yeah, you
there's
don't
the
do that
beaches
here.
where you would never go
Yeah.
into the water.
I think of the era in which Pike's Place or whatever in Long Beach, in the Santa Monica Pier, they were much more grand entertainment areas. But also there was and a beach location might also have like in Catalina, like an Avalon, like a ballroom near it. So that person was on maybe a day-long trip where they might be in a tuxedo later on. But yeah, it does seem like a much more regal affair and less informal. You're not mostly naked, slathered in oil, which is what a beach kind of thing is. Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. But it does seem like those woolen swimming costumes are so hot. Like, was that really?
And they must have weighed like 100 pounds when you got them wet.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no way that could have been comfortable. Or the chafing.
Yeah.
The chafing. Oh God, the chafing.
And those old-fashioned sea monsters that lived in the water back then. You know,
Yes.
where they have a
The
hump.
kraken.
The kraken.
There was krakens. There was sea serpents, definitely, like on old maps.
Yeah. Jules Verne was submerging and surfacing. And
The Nautilus came up and
Nautilus.
just took you back down, and yeah,
Oh, that's fun.
it was a trip.
Okay. So that's your third, right? So Richard's got his final.
So
choice.
my last one. So there's nothing like getting a good souvenir from the beach,
Oh.
especially when that souvenir is a horrible, horrible, horrible sunburn.
Ooh. Ah. Oh.
Is there anything that is that you want to hear less? Not just on the beach, but anywhere. Than, ooh, you're starting to get red.
Yeah.
Because that basically, you're starting to get a little red, is a code for you're going to be miserable for the next week.
Yeah. You won't sleep.
Yeah.
You can't drive. Yeah.
You will be until you start peeling like a lizard, or some sort of like reptile that sheds. You are going to be going through hell. I am lucky. I do not burn that badly. I don't have any real horrible like sunburn stories. I remember my dad. We went to Pismo Beach one time, and he got a sunburn on the top of his feet because he didn't put sunscreen on because he was wearing sandals and didn't think about it. And if there's any place where if you think about it, he worked like at a tire factory. He couldn't just show up to work in sandals and say like, well, can't wear shoes. He had to stand on his feet for 8 hours a day in shoes with these horribly sunburned feet. Woof.
Ouch.
There is the sun has it doesn't care about you.
No.
The sun, it doesn't care if you're SPF 15 or 100. You have to keep reapplying. You're just creating this layer that between you and the sun, and it is so easy to forget. I'm terrible about it. I'm much better now that I have a kid that I have to slather and
Yeah.
keep covered.
Your child.
But then I have to be the example, be like, Daddy's doing it too.
Yeah.
And it's just like, God, I hate because the sweat instantly pools into
gets
my
in your eyes.
It's just
the
like, I hate the
worst.
feel.
Oh.
I hate it.
Mhm.
But I
I
fortunately have to do it.
That's my feelings. Give me the burn. I'd rather have that than this crap. I grew up in Kansas, so not much beach there. But spring break was a emblem of the affluence, and we did not have that. So, but kids would go off skiing, or they'd go off to South Padre Island or something like that, and they would come back with that tan. And if you weren't tan enough by the last day or so, you did anything. A burn was just as good. So if you came back and you were sunburned, that meant you went someplace. So yeah, I remember those kids. Yeah, coming back with their sunburns, their suntans, and everybody's wearing a white shirt to help it just pop. Let that tan, let that burn just pop. Do you feel like there is a sense of not nihilistic, but like just maybe like a self-flagellation that comes from maybe getting that burn? Like a part of you wants that burn, maybe to feel like you did something, to feel like you're alive.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
That's just you, Jeff.
That's just me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I point my fingertips up to the sun, like, burn them off. I got some crimes to commit. I need
You need these your fingerprints. You just want them gone.
I need them nice and smooth for the weekend.
Well, we're looking for a suspect. He is the color of a lobster.
It has no fingerprints.
No fingertips, color of a lobster, white shirt. He's popping.
He's popping.
You
You'll
won't.
be able to see
You
him.
will not miss him. Here's our suspect.
It'll lift a trail of sand leading us right to him.
He's glowing. He's radioactive. Don't look at him. You might get a sunburn yourself. It just.
Oh man, he's the one who's broke into the Cheeto factory with a little bit of revenge. Okay, Michael Winfield, your final choice.
Look, no matter what's happening, you're getting tar on your feet.
Oh,
No matter what.
okay.
You never get the tar thing.
In the parking lot.
Just
In the parking lot?
like somehow tar from the beach
Oh,
just
Wow.
gets onto you. just gets on your feet.
What
and
beach are you going to?
Well, I'm going to Tar Beach.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Where the tar monster lives.
that's not a
So he's
beach.
a Scooby-Doo monster.
That's the La Brea tar pits. You're actually breaking into the tar pits.
That is the trouble.
Yeah.
I should not be
issue.
like
Dinosaur
dangling my
beach.
feet next to the mastodon. What am I doing?
So tar is in the sand.
They're
So,
like,
yeah.
a little tar that just kind of works its way along
Okay.
the beach
Okay.
or like an oil thing or what.
Yeah.
No matter what I do, I've found that I just can't avoid it. Maybe it is my sunburn. That I try to
Oh.
avoid it no matter what, and it's just like there's something that just gets caked to the bottom of my
Okay.
foot, and I know that like you're bringing something home from the beach, whether it is a bathing suit filled with sand, a sunburn.
Yeah.
There's something that comes back. That's how the beach spreads.
Yeah, the beach.
It
The beach
follows.
takes no prisoners. Yeah.
For me, it
Takes-
is personally, it is just tar, and like I can be as careful as all get out. It gets there on the bottom of my sandals or my feet or somehow, and it's just like this thing. And maybe it's very specific to like LA. I haven't had a lot of like lake beach experience.
Oh yeah.
I don't. As a kid, we'd go up to like Lake Arrowhead or like Big Bear, mostly Lake Arrowhead. But that's not like, never feels like a lying out in the sand sort of beach. That's like a driving around
A boat.
a
Yeah.
boat sort of.
Yeah.
Like you can go out there and kick around on like the kind of gravelly, kind of rocky beach. But you're not.
We went to the Big Bear one year for 4th of July,
Uh-huh.
and we're stunned that there was no place to act. There's no beach there
Yeah.
at Big Bear. It's just rocks.
You just go from like the dock into the water and that's it.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
But I don't know. You said where do you guys go up to
Lake Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe? Is that a very sandy?
Oh, that's a very sandy beach.
Very
Yeah, that's very sandy and clean.
No tar, huh?
Not that I've seen.
All right, maybe I just have this. Maybe I have this just curse following
No,
me.
I can see how, especially the California beaches that are along the coast, they're all on major. It's PCH, but it's not like quite like a highway there.
Yeah.
Then, but yeah, I'm sure that stuff comes right off the asphalt on the road.
God, maybe
Right.
it's coming from both ways. Maybe you get it from the surf and from the asphalt
tire
too.
fish.
Yeah.
This asphalt fish. Okay, so hey, that's 4 and 4. So
Apparently, by the way, this is a thing. I just looked up beach tar, and I'm getting all these results about how can you get tar off of your feet after a day at the
yeah.
beach.
okay.
It's naturally occurring from the ocean floor.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then
That's some
it gains
science.
sentience, invades your body. I've seen Spider-Man and Venom. I know what happens when you get too much of it on you.
Yeah.
You start
Or the blob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you start trying to eat brains.
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh, that's where you want to get that tar right off. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like
It
your
gets-
kid's right there,
it's
and his
just-
brain is
It's a symbiote.
delicious.
It bonds
Yeah.
it bonds with you, and then you're
Okay,
talking to yourself.
So let's rank them up. So I felt like you guys had very similar things as your kind of dadness has impacted your beach experience, and the responsibilities that weigh upon you. And I felt like Michael, your thematic kind of through line was this artistic storybook idea of the beach, and how what the real experience is differs from that. You know, so with the idea of an old-fashioned day at the beach, or this idea of being an artist at the beach and trying to create something that presents this very artistic experience, And Richard, I felt that this was just Greek tragedy. This was you chained to the rock, being devoured by vultures every day.
Yeah.
Just to
At least
my liver.
At least they're taking your Cheetos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But it was very, very interesting. But so I think I'm gonna, just because I felt it when you said it, the souvenir sunburn, and I'm actually a big fan of Man versus Nature, and nature kind of claiming back what it deserves from us, and so birds stealing food. You guys both chose being the pack mule for the family and getting the stuff from there to there and all that. So digging that. And just because it was so evocative, the turn of the century old-timey thing, that was super fun. Okay. Beach it up. Beach it up while you can.
Yeah, you never know. The beaches there may be no more beach. Global warming.
Yeah.
Everything, all the water lines are going to rise, and there'll be no more beaches.
Yeah,
Your backyard will be a beach.
Your backyard.
Listen, we last week when we talked about Lex Luthor trying to blow off, everything west of the San Andreas Fault. He's buying beach property on the other side. He knows what's happening.
He knows what's
whether it's happening by global warming, or nuclear
Right.
weapon fault line destruction. Just
one way or another.
buy that desert land.
Yeah. Okay, this has been the Mount Rushmore of A Day at the Beach. I, as always, am Jeff.
I'm Richard.
I'm Michael.